friends, and thank you very much for joining me on this Thursday morning or evening if you're down under, or some other time if you're over in the United States. You're very welcome. We're heading off through this little village called Wray, and it's very famous for its Scarecrow Festival once a year on a bank holiday. Interesting little village. It's not one I've ridden through before. Has a couple of pubs and some shops, so it's a true village, self-contained, and lovely coloured stone running through it. It's in Lancashire, and it's all new to me. I've often thought about coming here. Today's the day. Started off a bit overcast, as you can see, but the forecast is for the sun to a hazy sun a bit later on, so we look forward to that. Now we're coming out of the village now and heading off towards the next village, which is called Wennington, where there's a railway station, so it must be a slightly bigger village, and that's on the railway line that runs from, well, all the way from Heysham Port actually, for the Isle of Man. And now that route actually to the Isle of Man is quite an interesting one, because it's much shorter than the more traditional one, which is from Liverpool, which I've gone from back in the 60s, late 60s, for the TT. But Heysham Port, it's a shorter, it's about 3.5 hours from Heysham Port, and I went over there last year. Where was I? Wennington, yes, and the railway station. That's right, so that runs from Heysham Port all the way up through Lancaster, Carnforth, through Wennington, and on through Skipton, and ends up in Leeds. And originally there was another railway line, and why it was duplicated I don't know, as typical of the 19th century when there was railway fever, and there were branch lines going up everywhere. And there was a thing called the Green Air Line, which ran from Leeds into the holiday resort of Morecambe. Well, that disappeared, and it's now part of that has now become a cycleway, which I've ridden along many times. Anyway, this is quite a pleasant little road, a little bit busy, surprisingly. It's obviously a bit of a cut-off for people coming off the A65, which runs sort of through Hornby, a place called Hornby, where there's a castle. This looks like Wennington we're coming into now, and at Wennington I'm going to take a turn round down towards a place called Melling, back onto the A road, and then we're heading off towards Ingleton, because recently I bought myself a book. I'm always buying books, but anyway, this one's about the railway that used to run from Ingleton up to Carlisle onto Scotland. And once again, it was another one of those railways that was a bit misguided, and it fell foul of the ruthlessness of the railway fever, and it never really took off because there was big arguments over the line. Here we are, Wennington. That's probably the railway bridge. Yes, it probably is. Another bridge there. I'd have to look that up on the map later. Yes, considering this is quite early on a Sunday morning, it's surprising how busy it is. Big potholes there too. So how are we enjoying these Thursdays then? I quite look forward to them actually, because I've done all the work ahead of will have done all the work. Here's our junction with now this will take us down towards it's quite an interesting little village, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why I've not explored around this area before. I suppose it's because I have to go along an A road, which I don't much care for, which is the A road that runs out of Lancaster towards Hornby and on to Kirkby Lonsdale, and it's in the past it's been rather a fast road for a lot of drivers, and hasn't much appealed. And nor are the views awfully good, actually, to be perfectly honest. So that's why. And I also don't ride on fast roads at the moment. We're still drying it. There's an interesting place over there. I've looked that up too. Well, it certainly looks beautifully maintained, I must say. It's nice to be riding out in this way because I had no idea what it looked like off the main road. You get a different impression of what it is like. It's like going along a motorway, that other road. You have no idea really what it can be like either side of it. But this is rather beautiful. Oh, tractor. God, they're big, aren't they? Different to the old Fordsons. Why was everything so big? That's a rhetorical question, of course. It must have been a bit scary having that tractor go past her when she was running along that road. Yeah, so we're off towards, we're bypassing Hornby by coming this way, which is a very attractive village, with a castle, as I say. And then we're heading off up what is essentially the main road. Actually, it's green on the map. It's a trunk road, believe it or not. When we come to it, you'll see what I mean. You would never think it was a trunk road. It doesn't even look like the major road, but it is. And that leads over towards Ingleton, where there are waterfall walks. Now, those waterfall walks are very famous. I say famous, they're famous up this way. I suppose they're not world famous. Well, we're now coming into the village of Melling, and the more major road. It says police speed cameras. Well, that's actually on the main road. They've stuck up a load of speed cameras because they do get a lot of very fast drivers and riders along there, and unfortunately they've stuck up these speed cameras up on long yellow poles, which are most unattractive. So yes, Ingleton. At Ingleton there is a very attractive viaduct, and in fact one of our subscribers, one of our friends, Paul, he holidays. He comes up from the south of England and he holidays at Ingleton. So this is the more major road, A683 as it says. Most attractive village, lovely stone again. And I think that's a lovely thing about these villages. They're built from the local stone and they look so attractive, don't they? So we'll cut off a lot of that, not very interested in that bit. Now we're on this trunk road, believe it or not, yes. Now I have actually been up along this road towing a caravan. I used to have a VW camper, and it was called the T25 camper. Now that's not the bay window style or the split window style. Mine was a water-cooled 2.1 litre petrol, fuel injected, and sometimes called a brick. not the most attractive of camper vans, although I have to say it's more attractive than a lot of the ones today. But it was a rear engine. It was the same boxer engine that the Beetle has, but water-cooled, and it used to, well, it's supposed to have 120 brake horsepower, 110 brake horsepower, something like that, 110, 120 brake horsepower. But not a lot of torque, it has to be said. So towing a caravan with it, and it was only a small caravan, I must say. And yeah, we came up this way, all the way from the south of England. By the time we'd done the 300 miles up to about here, poor old van was, it was getting a bit tired. And this is all uphill, all the way to Ingleton. and over to Hawes, which is our ultimate destination. These little hamlets, or just a few houses spread around, a lot of them are based around halls, which are sort of farms, aren't they, really? And that's why these are the old buildings, older dwellings, and these farms. So that's why they're here. I realise that now, looking at the map. And anyway, we're heading out of that one and off towards the village of, large village of Burton in Lonsdale. It's probably a town because it is quite large. And I do remember this, and we're climbing up now, you can see. I do remember it from that journey up with that caravan. It was a VW camper, by the way. I didn't mention that, did I? Don't think I did anyway, I can't remember. Yeah, and the caravan I was towing was it was called a Romany. Oh, you can just see Ingleborough, the hill ahead, over on the left hand side, just over the hedge there. And yeah, quite an impressive hill that is. Yeah, not big in terms of mountainous, obviously, but it's a fair old step up to it. If you that way inclined, now there we are. You can really see it climbing now, can't you? This part, and it does climb all the way up to Ingleton and the A65, which runs through Ingleton. Although we're not actually going to go along the A65, we're going to go. I think we're going to go across it, and go up a little unclassified road into Ingleton, and that's where we'll see the viaduct, which is in good order. I think reading this book, there's a gas main runs across that. It's a listed, all these viaducts are listed buildings. Look where that climbs to. And because there's a gas main over it, you can't walk over it. Although Paul may well, because he's familiar with the area, he may well comment about that. So I look forward to that, Paul. Tell me all about Ingleton. Yeah, you can really see Ingleborough now, can't you? Even though it's a bit misty, it almost lends enchantment, doesn't it? Very nice. Yeah, it's nice riding this. It's far nicer than doing that caravan. Yeah, it was a very small caravan. We bought it. Oh, I think we paid. We paid for £850, something like that, way back in 2004. We were using the camper van, which I loved actually, a little sliding door camper. And it had plenty of room because it had the engine at the back and underneath. It had loads of room. In fact, of all the VW campers, I think I had a T5 later, which is a front-engined diesel. I thought I was going to love it, but I didn't like it at all. No, that T25 was lovely. It was like when you slept in it, it was like sleeping in a railway carriage. Sounds odd. Oh, it's a church. So that there we are, must be Burton in Lonsdale. I get confused with Burton's. Oh, and right, speed humps. Yes, I remember speed humps. Right, boy, those. I think they've changed. Yeah, so this is, it's actually very quiet, isn't it, on this road? I was surprised. Well, it's quite a tall spire. You ride through slowly, 20 miles an hour. You can get a good view of it. Oh, spoiled by cars. Why does everybody have to have 3 or 4 cars? Ruination of a place. Post office there. Absolutely hideous. I suppose when we look back on these in years to come, so oh, lovely classic cars all parked along there. I can't see that happening somehow. There's no elegance to a modern car, is there? It's not a van. Not these vans, white vans. White vans everywhere. Oh, must be coming up the village now, or the town. Heading off towards Ingleton. Still stuck at bumpy, isn't it? We're out. We're away. Lost our view of Ingborough. But we're still climbing. Yeah, a little caravan. Yeah, it was a little fiberglass caravan, and very short. And we got it so that we could use it as a washroom, because obviously the VW didn't have a proper washroom or anything like that. So we used to tow that around for about 3 years. But towing isn't for me. I enjoyed the camper on its own, but not towing anything. Oh, we can see Ingleton again. A bit closer now. I'm so pleased I came out this morning. I was in two minds. I looked at the cloud and I thought, I don't know about this. But no, I thought, no, gave myself a bit of a talking to. Come on, get out, do that riding. Otherwise, you won't have anything for your Thursday issue. Hopefully, the camera's recorded everything as one would wish. One never knows. As I've found a couple of times, I've come out and got back and said, hello, there's nothing on the camera, it hasn't recorded a thing, which is most annoying. Now, we've just come out to the main road, which is the A65, left and right, but we're going to take this little joggle across and go to Ingleton. Funny, it says give way. I thought that should be a stop. Can't imagine you just give way. Give way implies you don't have to put your feet down or just slow down. You just slow down and whiz across, but we're not going to be doing that. Yeah, so right, well, the White Scar Caves are off to the right. If you go that way, you can get to it by going through Ingleton straight across. Never really fancy going into a cave much. I'm not that sort of person. I like the open. Can get a bit claustrophobic. Me. I ventured up into one or two in Wales, a place called Extrafecta, I think that's how it's pronounced. Wystradfelt, we used to say, where there's lots and lots of waterfalls. A lovely area. Just up here, marked on a map is the junction. It's a tiny little road, which is a bit further along, and it actually leads up over towards Dent along a little gated road, about 4 gates as I recall. Came down it once, and that was an example of when the camera didn't record it. It recorded it, but it recorded it in red. I'd had some sort of red filter. It's this one here, and that would take you right up over this gated road, over the top towards Dent. I don't know why I've turned up. I've just gone for that's a bit of a stop. I think we'll turn around and go back. Yeah, so I had actually come down it from Dent up over this way, and so I'm back on the main road now. Yeah, so that camera didn't. That was all wasted film, which was annoying, and I've not done it since, but we will do it another time. So yeah, it's coming in Ingleton now, and not long before we'll see that viaduct. Haven't actually been along this road, well, not since I went walking with some friends up from the south of England. Ah, there's a viaduct. Yeah, our first glimpse. Most restrictive. Right, well, and yet again there's another river running through Ingleton, and that's the River Greta, which ultimately leads into Loon, of course, as they all seem to. We'll just go up here and park, and then we'll have a little look. Try and take some photographs. Church up over there. Quiet this Sunday morning there too. Just pop in here and take some stills. So thank you very much for watching this one, and we'll see you next Thursday.